Welcome to this course. You are officially in Seminar in Gerontology, or GERON 600, the online version. I wanted to make a beginning intro video for you to talk about the nuts and bolts of the course, hopefully set you up for success so that you can use all the tools we have and all the tasks that you'll do in this particular course to think, act, and hopefully at the end feel like a gerontologist. Okay, so this is the student view of your course on Canvas that hopefully is familiar to you. This is the home page, of course. You've got several different tabs down here, like all of your courses on Canvas. I'll be posting usually weekly announcements that are just sort of reminders for you of what's coming up for the week, anything big that we might have going on, so that it's a little bit easier to think, oh, right, I've got that online course I've got to do. Also, here's your syllabus tab, which is always important. If you want to take a look at your syllabus, definitely would encourage you to look through it, ask any questions either to the larger class. There's a pinned discussion for questions, concerns. If you think it's a bigger question that everybody should know, you could put it in course questions. Or if it's something personal, like, well, I'm going to be gone for this reason at this time, could I talk to you about? Or I have a accessibility issue that I need accommodation for, please do email me at the beginning of the semester and let me know if any of that happens, as well as on the way. Back to, syllabus. Okay. So this is the usual suspect stuff in your syllabus. Certainly talk about the different student learning outcomes. You can click on our link here to look at that, a mini description of the course. Really what I want you to focus on in this course is all of the tasks that I have for you to do, all the participation points, everything that we're going to do has one central goal, and it's all sort of funneling into one thing, and that's to help you guys to be able to think and act like a gerontologist, because it is their capstone course. And right now you are as educated in aging as you'll ever be, and you'll continue to be, but we're all learning. But we want you to feel like at the end of this capstone experience that you can have a place where you put all of this information kind of integrated together so that you have in your identity being a gerontologist, and you have the tools to be able to think and act like one. Our main text is This Chair Rocks, a Manifesto Against Ageism by Ashton Applewhite, and it's a great, easy read. She synthesizes a lot of the research out there on different aspects of aging, and in particular talks about a key aspect of aging in this time period, which is ageism, and how that affects pretty much everything that we experience as we grow older. So we'll be talking a lot about that in this course. Here are a few of the course objectives. So when you're done, as well as the central goal, you should be achieving these objectives. And here's what you have to do. So for this course, there are different areas that I've mapped out for you to do. And each one of these is crafted to be a part of the whole. So there isn't just points for point's sake. It's points to show experiences that you have had in this course that are going to help you get to that central goal and achieve it. First is your participation. So how do we do that online? That means a couple of group discussions that we'll have on the message boards. There'll be 3 of them this semester. And most of these will be a couple of weeks long. So you'll take the first week and you'll make your initial post, your thoughts. And then in the second week, it's really about responding and replying to a couple of your colleagues and reading through this and it being a mirror of what a discussion in person would be. There are also some short participation activities that, again, mirror the in-person class. And those will be due midweek. So most of the assignments that you'll have will be due on a Sunday. And some of them, in particular, these midweek participation activities are going to be due midweek on Wednesday. So it's meant to get you to dig into the material a little bit, do this task, and then dig in further and kind of apply what you learned in that task to the rest of the readings and videos that week. And usually when we have those, I'll do a end of the week reflection video, kind of wrap up what that participation activity meant for the week and how everyone responded. Okay. Well, you'll also have just a few short reflections. You'll do one right away that is just an introduction of yourself. You'll do a second one almost right away, and then you'll do a third one at the very end of class. The majority of your non-final project points will come from tasks, and these tasks are meant to be larger tasks. They're 10-pointers. So you will be taking a deep dive into the topic for that week and be applying it in these tasks. And that's really what I want them to do, is just digging into your knowledge and then applying it to a very practical task that is going to be facing you at some point, either in your life as an older person, as a family member with older family members, or as a person who is providing services for older individuals. And finally, we have the final project, which is again, a large portion of your points. So you'll see that the total points in the class might be small, 139 total, but each point is extremely meaningful then. So you know that the 10-point tasks are a larger portion. They're 40% of your grade, and then your final project is 37% of your grade. And that final project is your aging manifesto. So your manifesto against one of the challenges that we have in aging. So what you will do early on in the semester is pick a topic that you want to address, a challenge that you want to tackle, and then about 2/3 through the semester, you'll write a short summary paper outlining that problem or that challenge for us. And then at the end of the semester, you'll be giving us an oral presentation in the form of a pachachkata about not just outlining the problem, but posing a solution, your solution to this challenge. So this is your final project. And there are a lot more details in your assignments tab in the final project module that I have set up, and we'll be going over that a lot, don't worry. Okay, so there are a lot of different things that I have outlined on your classroom expectations. So online is a little bit different than in person, but that doesn't mean that we don't expect a lot from ourselves, right? Expect this from yourself, that you're going to log into Canvas and check your email probably every day in class just to see if there's anything new, sometimes multiple times if we're in a group discussion. It takes a lot of time management to do online classes, right? So you are in charge, you're driving the ship, you have to decide, oh, I have this assignment due then, this is when I'm going to do my readings, etc. Not unlike an in-person class, but there is no official touchstone during the week, so you are in charge. So you need to manage your own time and be your own organizer. So there are a lot of moving dates here. We have a lot of ongoing assignments and discussions to track. And what I've done to help you with organization is to have a course outline. And that course outline is listed in your modules. And for each week, it has the topic of the week, the activities you need to be doing, readings, online videos, and any assignments that are either due that week or ongoing that week. So that's going to be a great organizing tool for you. For me, you can expect from me this semester that I'm going to respond to your emails and questions within 24 hours during the work week, unless otherwise noted if I have a family emergency or something. I will review often my email over the weekend, but I likely won't respond until the work week to most situations, unless it's emergent. You can expect that I'll provide a feedback on your assignments, usually within a week, if not 10 days of the due date. Sometimes those short papers might take me a little longer. I will encourage a safe and productive environment for our online discussions and any meetings you might have with me, right? So I have some online netiquette for discussions that we will follow, and I will monitor to make sure that those group discussions are places where we're respecting others and our confidentiality is respected and people's opinions are both honored but You can also disagree in a respectful way. You can also expect me to be available to you by email. I can set up Zoom meetings if you're a Salina student or if you're off campus and you're working from home, or face-to-face by appointment. I certainly have an office on campus in the Center on Aging. So you can expect me to be available and to respond to you and to set up extra support for you as needed, as requested. Some of the class policies, I mentioned this, but you want to read through them. You want to get the most out of online discussions. I know that there's a lot of eye rolls and shrugging when we hear message boards, but really it can be great and it can be really interesting. But there are some rules to making it good. And part of that is that you don't get online and just agree with someone and say, that's a great idea, but you push the conversation forward. You can agree with someone and then say, but, or, and have your original ideas that's progressing this conversation. Think of it as a movement. We want to always be moving in our discussion as opposed to staying where we are and staying stagnant. And that's all of our jobs to do, including mine, and I'll be active in those discussions as well. And there are some etiquette rules that everyone must follow as a part of this class. You sign on to follow these rules. I have a late work policy that I encourage you to read through carefully every semester. I have to invoke it multiple times, so make sure that you know what you're getting into when you turn things in late. I have a plagiarism statement. Certainly it's in line with the academic dishonesty of the campus. If you need accommodations or you already have a letter from the Student Success Office and you want to let me know, please do. This online course has been made accessible and in general, but there may be some things that need to be altered for different students, and I'm happy to do so. I have a food and living insecurity statement for people who may not be food secure or living secure at this time, and I know that that affects our whole lives, including our academics, so please let me know if that's something you need. And then certainly the university has their expectations for classroom conduct, the weapons policy, concealed carry statement, and importantly, the tech side for you guys, right? So if you need help with IT, if things are going wrong in Canvas or you're having trouble connecting, getting things off of Canvas, having it work correctly, please do consult these resources, but also just let me know if you're having trouble and that you're following up. Okay, that's the syllabus. Done. Don't worry. Please do take a look at some of those policies closer, as well as reading the details of some of those assignment categories. An important place for you guys is going to be the modules. The modules is going to be where you spend a lot of your time, right? There's that course outline that I mentioned. If you click on that, you can download the Word document, get that course outline. If you have trouble with organization and you're the type of person who has a very detailed calendar, just print off that course outline for the most part, unless there are changes that are made known to you throughout the semester. You can just check off those things as you go and look at those due dates on there and use that as your calendar for this course. A very important module is your final project module. There is some really great information about what the heck a Pachacha is and what your final project should be like and the pieces of your final project that are due throughout the semester. One of those, right, I mentioned is your topic selection, which is due at the end of September. Your short summary paper about outlining the problem and providing us research on why your issue is important is due mid-November, before Thanksgiving. Your final project is due at the end of our class, and then you will watch each other's and reflect on those. And those are all part of your final project. Then you'll have each week modules. So this is how you're going to get all those learning opportunities and activities that I've set up for you to be able to get to that central goal of thinking and acting and then feeling like a gerontologist at the end. For example, for this week, you'll go into week 1, and each module is set up as such. It'll have a title. It'll have the overview of the week and the objectives. that we want to accomplish for that week, some things to think about, questions to ponder as you start going through your readings and the videos. And then it'll list all of your readings, and since we don't have a traditional textbook for this course, we do a lot of outside readings. So these will either be PDFs or links to academic resources so that you can get the information you would have otherwise had in a textbook about that topic. And then it should go into your activities for the week, what might be due. So you'll have a reflection that's due to introduce yourself, and then the lecture videos. And just a note here, some of these lecture videos are carried over from last semester or the semester before, or some of them have been edited by me, some of them are new. But if you ever come up against an old video that has a wonky due date, or I mentioned something odd, don't worry, you're not accountable for it. It's just that it may be an older video, but I've tried to cut most of that out. So then you'll watch the video presentations. There's usually a couple a week. Sometimes it's a TED Talk, sometimes an additional video, and so on. Just like that for each module, for each week you'll go through. This is really your home page for the week. What do I need to do? Where is it? Where can I get the readings? And watching the videos. There's also your assignments tab, right, which is an important one, along with your calendar and Canvas, right, that tells you when they're all due. I have this, you can break it up by date. I like to view it by type. That's just how my brain works. But here are all of your group discussions, those 2-week discussions that we're going to have amongst each other. Here are those midweek little tasks that you have due, each with their own dates. Those 3 reflections that you'll do across the semester. Here are your bigger tasks, those sort of homework, assignment kind of tasks. Usually I give you a couple of weeks to finish these because I'll assign them in the week you get the content, but then allow you to work on them for an extra week. And these are some bigger kind of applied tasks, right? So you're taking that knowledge that you're gaining or consolidating from what you've learned across being an aging person, and then applying it in these areas to these particular activities. And then all of your final projects, assignments. There's also a grades tab available to you to keep track of how you're doing in the course. And some of the files, pages that have some of the videos or broken links. And certainly if you find broken links or you can't get a video to work, or it's still accidentally locked because I forgot to unlock it, just shoot me an email, let me know, and I'll correct it as ASAP. Okay, that's really the gist of this course, is that purposefully setting up all of these different activities, readings, discussions to help you really dive into these topics on aging and think about these from use some key tools that a gerontologist uses every day to dig into these topics and apply it to tasks so that you get the practice that you need to be a gerontologist in your career. All right. Welcome, as I said, and looking forward to a new semester. I will be posting my introduction reflection very soon, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you guys. So have a good first week.